how I'd invest my first $100,000 if I were starting from scratch. If you gave me $100,000 today and stripped away everything else, my company, my contacts, my credibility, and all the advantages I've built over decades, I would not put a single dollar of it into the stock market. I wouldn't buy an index fund. I wouldn't invest in a rental property. I wouldn't try to play the game of passive income. I wouldn't chase some shiny new crypto token, not one dime. Why? Because none of those things will change your life when you're starting from scratch. None of them will give you the skills, confidence, or leverage to multiply your income. None of them will make you wealthy if you're not already producing wealth in the first place. And that's the truth most financial gurus won't tell you. I built a 9-figure business. I've invested in companies, teams, and people. I've seen what works and what fails. And what I know for sure is this: the highest return you will ever make is the one you make in yourself. When you are early in your journey, your product isn't your stock portfolio. Your product isn't a real estate portfolio. Your product is you. And the only game that matters is increasing your income, increasing your skills, and increasing your ability to create opportunities. So if I had to start over with the $100,000, this is the exact roadmap I would follow. Step 1, the foundation. Focus on income producing skills. Let's get real. If you have $20,000 or even $100,000 and you think investing it in the market will make you rich, you're dreaming at best. If you put $20,000 into an index fund and get 8% growth, you'll make $1,600 in a year. That won't even cover the cost of your car insurance. The truth is, your first investment is not about compounding returns. It's about compounding skills. Think of yourself as a startup. In the early stages, a startup does not survive by hoarding cash. A startup survives by iterating fast, learning, growing, and building capabilities. You are no different. When you're starting from scratch, your job is to stack skills that directly lead to more income. I remember when I first started, I didn't have money to throw around. What I had was time and the willingness to learn. I invested in books when I couldn't afford seminars. I watched how successful people communicated, how they sold, how they made decisions. I treated every conversation as a classroom. Every dollar I put into training or coaching came back to me multiplied because it increased my ability to generate revenue. Income producing skills are the rocket fuel. And there are 4 categories you absolutely need to master if you want to grow your income tenfold. Communication skills. The ability to clearly articulate ideas, influence people, and sell yourself is non-negotiable. If you can't persuade, you can't grow. Sales skills. Sales is not just for salespeople. Every entrepreneur, every executive, every leader sells ideas, visions, and solutions. If you can't sell, you can't scale. Strategic thinking. Understanding leverage, systems, and scalability separates the people who stay stuck from the people who break free. Technical or industry skills. Depending on your field, this could be marketing, coding, design, finance, or operations. But you must master the craft that earns you credibility. The goal is simple. Turn yourself into someone who can generate $1 million in value, because once you can do that, the question of what to invest in becomes easy. Step 2, reinvest every dollar into you, not the market. Now, let's say you've made some progress. You've picked up skills, you're earning more. Maybe you're making $150,000 or $200,000 a year. This is where most people get it wrong. They immediately start asking, where should I invest my extra income? They look at ETFs, rental properties, or angel investing. That's the wrong move. When you are early in your journey, you are not an investor. You are still the product, which means the highest return is still reinvesting into yourself. Here's a simple example. Let's say you take $10,000 and put it into the S&P 500 at 8% annual growth. That $10,000 becomes $10,800 in a year, a gain of $800. But if you instead use that same $10,000 to learn high ticket sales and you close even one $20,000 deal because of that skill, you've doubled your money instantly. And that's just the first deal. You now own that skill for life. That's why I tell people you don't have an investment portfolio until you're at 7 figures. Until then, your portfolio is you. Every extra dollar you earn should be used to sharpen the blade. Courses, masterminds, coaching, mentorship, experiences, anything that increases your earning power. And don't forget this, investing in yourself also means investing in your health, your energy, in your mindset. You can't perform at a high level if you're burnt out, overweight, stressed, and antly exhausted. Success is not just skills, it's stamina. And stamina comes from taking care of your body and your mind. You are the goose that lays the golden eggs. Protect the goose, feed the goose, invest in the goose. Step 3, proximity is the shortcut. The third principle is proximity. I cannot overstate how powerful this is. For years, I was stuck in my own head. I believed money was scarce. I believed opportunity was limited. I believed that the only way to grow was to protect what little I had. Then I started spending time around people who were wealthy. It was like stepping out of a cave into the sunlight. They didn't operate out of fear. They operated out of abundance. They weren't obsessed with cutting costs. They were obsessed with creating more. And when I saw that, it rewired my brain. Here's the truth. Wealth is contagious. If you want to think like wealthy people, you have to be around wealthy people. If you want to understand opportunity, you have to watch how opportunity makers think. And here's the good news. In 2025, proximity has never been easier. You don't have to live in New York or Silicon Valley. You don't have to know someone who knows someone. You can get proximity through podcasts, YouTube, social media, and online communities. You can DM mentors. You can join virtual masterminds. You can learn from billionaires every single day without ever meeting them in person. But let me be clear, proximity is not passive. Don't just consume content, engage, ask questions, apply what you learn, build relationships, because proximity is not just about knowledge, it's about environment. An environment dictates behavior. If you hang around 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. If you hang around 5 millionaires, you'll start thinking and acting like one. Step 4, obsess over output, not budget. The 4th step is critical. Stop obsessing over your budget. Start obsessing over your output. This one idea alone can change everything. Most people think wealth is about cutting costs. They think if they shrink their lifestyle enough, they'll become rich. But here's the truth. No one ever got rich by shrinking. You don't cut your way to wealth. You create your way there. Wealth is not built by saving $3 on coffee. Wealth is built by creating $3,000 more in income. Every hour of your day is either building wealth or it's not. That's why I treat my calendar like the most valuable asset I own. 80% of your time should be focused on income producing activities, period. It means sales, marketing, content creation, product development, networking, and learning, not Netflix, not mindless scrolling, not debating politics online. If it doesn't grow your income, it's a distraction. Here's the mindset shift. Your budget is not the bottleneck. Your output is you don't have an income problem because you spend too much. You have an income problem because you produce too little. Solve the production problem and the income problem disappears. Step 5, build your personal brand. Finally, the single highest return investment you can make today is building your personal brand. Why? Because attention is leverage. In 2025, distribution is everything. The person with attention wins. If you build a brand, you don't chase opportunities. Opportunities chase you. Clients come to you, partners come to you, investors come to you. But here's the hard part. Building a brand forces you to confront yourself. You have to ask, who am I? What do I stand for? What do I believe in? What do I do with my time? And for most people, that's uncomfortable because deep down, they're not proud of the answers. That's why I tell people, don't overthink it. Just document the process. Show the world the journey of who you are becoming. Share the books you're reading, the workouts you're doing, the lessons you're learning. Be consistent, be real, and over time, people will trust you. And when people trust you, doors open, deals happen, opportunities flow. Now, don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying take all $100,000 and pour it into Instagram ads or YouTube equipment. That's not smart. The smart move is to first build your skills and your income. Once you have that foundation, use your money to amplify your brand. Because here's the hack: successful people want to do business with other successful people. And your personal brand is how the world decides if you're worth working with. So if I were starting over with $100,000 today, I wouldn't touch the stock market. I wouldn't chase real estate. I wouldn't try to invest my way to co-its. I would invest in me. First, I would pour everything into developing income producing skills. Second, I'd reinvest every spare dollar back into myself. Third, I'd chase proximity to people who think bigger. Fourth, I'd obsess over output, not my budget. And finally, I'd build my personal brand. Because here's the truth: until you can create wealth, you're not an investor, you're just pretending. The foundation of real wealth is turning yourself into the most valuable asset you own. Once you've done that, the rest becomes easy. Capital will flow to you, opportunities will chase you, and you'll have the skills, the network, and the platform to multiply them. That is how you turn $100,000 into $1 million, into 10 million. It starts not with a portfolio, but with you.